Welcome to the High Performance Gym, the personal and business development podcast for health coaches and personal trainers. My name is Key Witherspoon, former personal trainer and gym owner turned high performance coach and lifestyle entrepreneur. My mission is to help coaches develop their entrepreneurial qualities and the business to create a freedom-focused lifestyle. I believe we all have a uniqueness that we need to unleash to achieve this, and this is your genius. Each week I'll be bringing you an inspiring person or message to help you perform at a higher level so you can become a confident and resilient coach to build the business of your dreams. So thanks for tuning in today, and I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to today's podcast. Now, before I get into it, I might need to make just a little bit of an apology because you might hear some background noise because it's school holidays, my kids are at home, so if you hear a little bit of craziness going on in the background, that's what it is. It's all good though. But if you're like everybody, if you're like most people even, then you will struggle when it comes to making decisions. And being a business owner, then you are going to be met with decisions every single day. So it's really important that we have a way of filtering out the noise, filtering out the distractions and to help you stop procrastinating about making these decisions. And that's what this podcast is about. So it's going to be a short podcast, but it's going to be very insightful to helping you make these all important decisions. Okay. So I've actually wrote a blog on this, which is called "Will It Make the Boat Go Faster?" So if you like reading, you can go to my website, at keywitherspoon.com, or over on Medium, and there's a podcast. There's a blog on there that you can kind of read. If you prefer reading, obviously you like listening because you're listening to the podcast as well. Or maybe you like both. Anywho, let's get into it. So I want to give you back a little background story. So the British-run team, okay, this is the British-run team. They came up with a system because for a long time, they hadn't won a medal since 1912. Then in 2000, just before the Sydney Olympics, they implemented a single strategy, and because of that, they ended up winning gold. So they went from winning nothing for 80 years to then winning gold. And it was one simple question each team member asked themselves before making a decision. This helped them overcome failure and finally win, enduring 80 years of pain. 80 years of not winning anything. And it was one simple question. And the question was this: will it make the boat go faster? Yeah, that was all it was. It was to eliminate distractions or other non-productive interruptions that could potentially harm the bigger goal. And that was making the boat go faster. What this done was it created a filter. This is the big part. It created a filter so they could quickly gauge whether the decision was taking them closer or farther away from adding a jet engine to the stolen wind catcher. Yeah. So basically, everything that they were doing didn't make the boat go faster. For example, will this donut make the boat go faster? Will this late night make the boat go faster? If I skip the party, will it make the boat go faster? This is what's known in the psychology world as implementation intentions. Okay, this is a self-regulatory strategy of if-then plan. If, action, then outcome. That's what this is. It's a filter that helps them decide very, very quickly. If I do this, action, then the outcome is, So for example, if I eat this donut, then my energy is going to suck. So no, it won't make the boat go faster. If I stay up late, then my sleep will be compromised and my performance will suck. No, it won't make the boat go faster. You can see how there's kind of an outcome there. So the if I stay up late, then outcome, my sleep will be compromised and my performance will suck. No, it won't make the boat go faster. If I skip the party, then I can go to bed early and I will feel rested and energized tomorrow. So yes, it will make the boat go faster. I know this kind of sounds obvious, and it kind of is, but this filtering process requires discipline. More importantly, it requires sacrifice. There's a quote by Tim Grover. He was a performance coach to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and he once quoted, "You should crave the end result so bad that the hard work becomes irrelevant." Yeah, and there's also a similar quote from legendary author Stephen R. Covey. If you haven't read his book, it's amazing. The seven habits of highly successful people. That's what his book's called. In order to have something you want, you must be willing to pay the price. Yeah, so there's got to be some sacrifice there. So, for example, this Rome team, maybe there was a really good party. They had to sacrifice that party because by going to the party, it wouldn't have made the boat go faster. By going to bed early, it would make the boat go faster because they're going to be more energized, they're going to be more rested. So there's got to be some level of sacrifice. But whatever it is you're working towards is going to require the sacrifice to some degree. So building and growing a successful business, which is kind of what you're doing, is going to demand a lot of time, money, and energy, especially in the early stages. Like, you can't avoid this. There's going to be, you're going to have to sacrifice this. You're going to have to sacrifice your time. There's going to be money that needs to be investment. This is a non-negotiable. And you're going to require a lot of your energy, and you will make many mistakes. You're going to get frustrated a lot, and you will feel like giving up on more days than none. Like, this is just what happens with building a business. But like the dream of 9, a lot of people get into business because they want to work their own hours. They want to start at 9 o'clock and finish at 3 o'clock. Whatever it is for you, they want that flexibility to live life on their terms. That is the big dream. That's why a lot of people get into business. Yes, money is a factor as well. They want to make more money. They want to be more successful. But the prior years to achieving this, there has to be a sacrifice. There's got to be the weekend sacrifices, the long nights that you might have to put in at the beginning, the early morning starts, whatever it is that you have to do, then you've got to understand or accept if these are actually worth it. Whatever that is for you. Like, these are the years that nobody sees, by the way. You see it all the time with kind of overnight success stories. Somebody goes to bed, girl goes to bed, a nobody, and then wakes up a super successful entrepreneur. You've probably seen this all the time with overnight successes. Ed Sheeran was an overnight success. But what people don't see is the work that gets done in the background, the sacrifices, the years of sacrifice that have been done in the background. And this is the same thing, when the British rowing team won gold, for example, a lot of people could just look at that and say, oh yeah, they got lucky, or they were overnight success. No, they implemented this strategy, they implemented this filter to make sure that for the years leading up to that, they sacrificed everything they could to make sure that that boat went faster and they got that ultimate outcome. Yeah, and that's what people don't see. People don't see the years of sacrifice, the painful rejections, and the daily motivational prep talk just to get you out of bed in the morning. This is what brings you success. It's this forever fighting and challenging yourself to be more. But the truth is, to get what you want out of life, you've got to go through some extremely challenging and gut-wrenching, anxious moments. That's just going to happen. You've got to go through these times where you think, hey, can I even do it? This is all a necessary process. You're going to be, that's a decision. Yeah. Can I even do this? Can I do this? Yes, you can. You can do it. But these are the questions that you're going to ask yourself. You will have to say no more than you'll say yes, because every decision you make will have an impact on your end goal. The kind of impact is down to the decisions that you're going to be making. Yeah, that's the thing. Whatever decision that you make, it's going to have an impact on that end goal. Like, for example, you say this to your clients all the time. If someone's looking to lose weight, for example, and they're spending all day eating donuts, it's a case of like, the decisions that you're making, is that going towards the goal that you want? If you decide to sit and watch Netflix all night instead of going for a walk, is that impacting on your goal? It is impact on your goal. The impact that it delivers is totally based on the decision that you make. And here's the thing, you can do anything that you want in life. You can achieve anything that you want. Just don't think for a second it's going to be easy, because it won't. Like, it won't be easy. Whatever it is that you want, whether it's losing weight, building a business, or whatever that is, it's not going to be easy. It's going to come with a lot of sacrifice, like we spoke about. But nothing in life worth doing is easy. So you might as well be free to choose your problem, and then you can start working on solving that problem. But the question remains, what do you want? What is the price, and are you willing to pay that price? If you know what you want and you're willing to pay the price, like, using this filter will help you make decisions quickly and avoid derailment, and the mother of all productivity sucks, procrastination. But the more sacrifices you're willing to make now, the quicker your dream will become a reality. The trouble is, most people swim around in the struggles for years because the decisions aren't aligned with the future goals or the future self. It's kind of like 1 step forward and 2 steps back. But what those decisions are is down to you. Only you can decide what price you're willing to pay. Like, for me, I spent years sacrificing my family to build a gym. until one day I kind of came to the realization I was no longer willing to pay that price. To me, that price was not worth paying. Like, my family now are the center of my vision and my future. So every decision that I make now includes the welfare and the happiness, as well as my own ambitions in life. Your circumstances could be completely different, but this filtered approach will absolutely keep you on track. And then when you're met face to face with the crossroads of a decision, all you got to ask yourself is, will it make the boat go faster? Thank you for listening to the show today. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you being here. If you would like some free resources to help you with your business, then click in the show notes. There is some free training and there's also a link to my free group. If you could also share this podcast with anybody that you think would benefit from it, because this helps us actually develop the podcast and spread our message to a wider audience. So that would be very, very grateful if you could do that. And leave us a comment. Let me know how you are actually finding the show and how we can best serve you. So thank you for being here today. Click on the link in the show notes and I hope to see you in my free group.